Hello, my name is Cara and
Colton Johnson.
we read the book Not Quite Burned Out but Crispy Around the Edges by Sharon M. Draper.
This book is a series of short stories, and all the stories show a main theme when regarding the aspects of teaching, and these four are what we thought were most important.
The story that I thought stood out the most to me was the 1970th day of her 17th year of teaching. A teacher who goes throughout her day forgetting one thing to the next and has a million things to do in grade. And on top of that, she has a teachers' meeting at the end of the day. Finally, she gets to the parking lot where she runs into a former student. The student tells her these words that make her realize why she teaches again. I just wanted to let you know that you changed my life. I was an unhappy child, and coming to your class was always fun. And she goes into more detail and so on. The teacher is stunned and speechless. This is why she realizes she teaches. The story stuck out to me because as a teacher, you have a workload, and there is one thing after another. Sometimes it's nice to know that you're appreciated and that you can make a difference on a student's life.
One of the stories that most stood out to me was Turning Rocks into Rubies. This story told us the tale of how a child wanted knowledge and wanted it as fast as possible without school. The story says that the kid climbed a mountain to see a dragon to gain this knowledge. The dragon then made him collect rocks, which turned into diamonds and rubies by the time he had climbed back up the mountain. However, the dragon took these gems from him and made all his hard work useless. This shows the theme that sometimes we see things as obstacles in our path when they are really opportunities in disguise. This is an important teaching aspect because you have to see every obstacle you encounter in your teaching career as an opportunity to either help better yourself or your students.
The other story I chose to read was Burned Out, Beat Up, and Torn Down, the story of Rosa. Rosa was a teacher who was slowly giving up on her passion of teaching. She comes into class and begins to talk about slavery. After Jackie, a student, who we find out later was raped the night before, makes a rude remark to Rosa and throws a chair at her, knocking her unconscious. When Rosa ends up in the hospital, she wakes up to flowers and cards from her students. Realizing that even though she can be a tough and hard teacher, she is loved and appreciated by them.
The other aspect that stood out to me the most was the story Finding Your Joy. It tells how Draper went around to schools for her book, and one child asked the question, "Where do you find your joy?" This led Draper to go out to other schools and question not only students but teachers as well where they find their joy. It was an interesting outlook on where people find their joy and what makes them happy in life. This is an important aspect of teaching because you have to enjoy what you do in order to be successful and really connect with your students.